Hey guys, Coach Brandon Krause here. Today I'm going to do a little talk and lesson on counter punching, all right? Counter punching, when I used to compete, that was one of the big tactics that I would employ, and a lot of my fighters here at Outlaws, I would like to say are pretty good counter punchers, all right? So first let's talk about a little definition of what is counter punching and what is not counter punching, all right? Christian and I here, we're going to be exchanging the jab back and forth, and this is what we're going to do, Christian. I'm going to throw the jab at you. You're going to parry, and then you're going to throw the jab back at me, and then I'm going to defend. All right, let's show them that. Not counter punching, all right? All we're doing here is I led, he defended, and then he led, and he defended. All right, let's do the same thing, Christian. Still not counter punching. It's just the same thing a little faster. I led, he defended, he led, I defended. All right. Christian, throw the jab at me. I'm going to do the same thing back at you. Now we're counter-punching. Do it again. Throw that jab at me. Now we're counter-punching. Throw that jab at me again. What's the difference here? I'm stealing his commitment. I'm stealing his energy towards me. And that really is the gist of counter-punching. And that's what you're trying to do versus your opponent. And the beauty of this is this requires timing. This does not require absolute speed. While being as fast as you can be is preferable, timing is the overarching theme that will help you be very successful when it comes to counterpunching. All right, well, in specifics to counterpunching, I'd like to say that the way I like to teach it is there's 3 different timings of counterpunching. So that first timing of counterpunching, I think, is on the front end of the shot. So let's say Christian starts throwing a slow jab at me, and I can out-time it. And as it's on its way to me, I can choose to start my shot at the proper time, and I can be landing my shot before it comes to me. Now, like I said, this didn't have to do with me being faster than Christian. This had to do with me understanding the timing of what was happening and when to start my shot in relation to his shot. So Christian starts throwing that jab, I identify it, and I just have to pick a shot that comes and lands before his shot does, okay? Maybe he throws that same jab at me, and it's the uppercut coming from underneath as he's on his way out to me. So we'll call that the first timing of counterpunching. The second timing of counterpunching, it happens right there in the acute of the shot. So let's say Christian throw that jab at me, and I parried. At this point, while I have him out here in the parry, is when I would launch my counterattack. Right here in the middle of the movement. So let's show it in real time. Bang. Show it again in real time. Boom. So in that circumstance, right there as the shot was committed and at me already, and with the defense that I had maintained with the parry, I was able to shoot the right hand off, or before that, shoot the jab off. So that second timing of countering happens right there in the center. The third timing of countering is going to be on the back end of the shot, trying to catch your opponent being quote-unquote lazy. And lazy in boxing has to do with you dragging your hands back to your guard position, which is a no-no. So let's say Christian were to throw a lazy jab at me and I were to slip it, and as he draws it back, I'm going to try to follow him back and take advantage of that deficiency in his technique of being lazy. Now, I have to rely on him having a little deficiency into technique, so this is a hard one to rely on, right? But the cool thing, because it's on the back end, it can be done after the fact. Meaning this, I can be boxing with Christian and he can throw that jab at me and I can slip it and I go, oh shoot, the jab has missed me. I'm free to throw a shot, and I can throw a shot without fear of him kind of countering me because the shot has already missed. What I'm trying to get at is this one doesn't have to be a premeditated move the way that the other 2 did. A cool way that we have in my gym to put all these different timings of countering together and help you practice is what we call our counter-punching drill, all right? And in this drill, one of the fighters, fighter A, that's going to be Christian right now, he's going to be on the lead the entire round. He'll be throwing the jab at me, not mechanically, not in a steady beat, but in a realistic way, he'll throw a jab at me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to first defend the shot. Second, I'm going to study the shot. I'm going to start getting the timing of this punch. And third, I'm going to start practicing my counters, going right up into the point of contact, all right, and pulling that shot at the last second, all right? Let's show up, Christian. So start throwing that jab at me. First, I'm just defending. Just getting the timing of it, seeing consistently what my opponent does, and when I feel the time is right, not countering every single one. Not countering every single one because I want it to be a surprise to my opponent when I finally go for this movement. If I do it all the damn time, it's no longer a surprise, all right? And then also pulling that shot at the last second, because I want to show you the beauty of a counter. Let's say I caught Christian on that first time he throws a jab at me, and I come over the top with my own right hand. Poor Christian here, if I do this properly, he is gonna get hit. There's no way that he can defend this shot at this point. I've out-timed him. He's had. Now, we're not going to practice drills in the gym in which I just land shots on my opponent, so that's why I pull my punch at the last second, not striking my opponent. But Christian, on the other hand, I need a little commitment for him on the lead portion of it, because without that commitment, there won't be anything for me to counter. Wrapping it up, the counter is a great way to even out boxing. It's a great way that boxing isn't all about absolute speed, absolute strength, absolute height or reach or something like that. Because with this timing and with you out-timing your opponent, you can be competitive with people that have these advantages over you, all right? Remember, guys, there's 3 timings in which I teach my guys that you can counter. You can be on that first end, out-timing them, beating them to the punch, which I think are the most effective counters. You can be in the middle, maybe with the parry, or off of the same hand with that parry. And you can be on the back end, letting that shot miss you, and I'm pulling it back and finding them being a little deficient, being lazy with their shots. Practice all of them, all right? And you'll see that every opponent requires a different timing and counters in different ways that you're going to go about it. So that's why it pays to have a full bag of tricks, all right? And like and subscribe. Keep tuning in. Like and subscribe.